You are listening to Single Smart Female. This is Jen, explaining the possibilities in your love life and examining your mantourage dating experiences. I am here to help you do life and love on your terms by tipping the scales of love permanently in your favor. So don't forget to text this episode to all of your single smart girlfriends, and let's get started. Hello, it's your romantic fairy godmama. And I am coming to you today with a romantic fairy godmama quickie / hot topic / all of the above. Probably an elongated quickie, so the really good kind. Anywho, let's get started. Today's topic is if I, your romantic fairy godmama, were to do it all over again, what would I do differently? And I do have a list that I have put together for you, and I'm going to tell you right now what that is. And the first thing that I would do differently is I would mantourage date longer. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I'm very happy with my results. I am so glad I went through the process, but there's parts of me that wishes I would have done it for a longer time. Now, I still would like the same result with the man that I'm with, who I've been with for years now, and I still am falling more in love with every single day, but I would absolutely 100% mantourage date longer because I really loved dating. It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot about myself, and I think I had a lot of spectacular, not only great results, but I had a spectacular journey, which is the first point of mantourage dating, is that you're having so much fun. You just automatically draw in your forever guy if that's what you want. It makes it a lot easier to do because you have a different energy about you. You show up differently in interactions with men, but I think I could have had even more fun during that period. And subsequently in my relationship as well. Now, number 2, what would I do if I had to do it all over again? What would I do differently? And I know, even though I'm 100% in love with my kiddo, I think I would have waited slightly longer, maybe at least a year, to have a kiddo and focus more on making money. Why? Because kiddos are expensive. And I do think if you want kiddos, you should 100% have it. I'm not one of these people that's going to tell you shouldn't have kids, because I think you should. If you're really set on not having kids, I support you. But I do think if you want to have kids, go ahead and get your finances going. Put some things away because they're great. They're fantastic, but it's expensive, especially with inflation today. So, number 3, if I had to do it all over again, I would have gotten married sooner. Yep, I waited because it was my second go around on marriage. I waited quite a while into our being together to say yes to marriage because I didn't put a lot of value on marriage at that time. I was good with it for other people. I believed in it for other people, but I was just like, meh, whatever. I've had a change of heart. I really think marriage is a wonderful way to go. Now, can you have a long-term relationship without marriage and it be absolutely wonderful? Yes, 100%. But there really is something special, and special is about the best word I can come up with right now, but it really is more than just special about being married to somebody that you're deeply in love with and who is deeply in love with you, and that commitment to each other. So that's one thing I would have definitely changed, is I would have gotten married even sooner. Now, number 4. So here's the thing. I have advocated to you ladies for years now that one of the things I want you to be doing is taking good care of yourself. And I'll be honest with you, I let that shit fall to the side. I let focusing on my kiddo get in the way, and my health took a hefty price this last year because of it. At some point, I'll talk to you all about it. But right now, long story short, I did not prioritize for a good period taking better care of myself, especially health-wise. And it did take a toll. So you 100%, especially during the dating phase, need to be practicing taking good care of yourself. Now, I will say I don't think that means being obsessive about food. It doesn't mean to be obsessive about your regimen. Being consistent, yes. Obsessive is just as bad as doing nothing at all. Let me make that very clear, because I've been on that end of it and I have made myself crazy, and it does nothing for you. It does not make you healthier. Okay? And I want you to know that, because I want you to give yourself permission. Now, a lot of you that are at that obsessive point with your health, you're going to have some recoil on that, and you're going to be like, but no, and you're going to get angry with me for a minute. But if you let yourself take a deep breath and move through it and give yourself permission to not be perfect on all the time, not only will you have more fun in life, but your health will actually get better and better. Okay? We're at number 5. Okay. Here's another thing. In some of the hypocrisy I was living in while I was telling you ladies something else, and I'm just coming clean on everything. Because of where my priorities were, I wish I would have had a lot more fun, and I wasn't. I would on occasions, but it wasn't consistent. And I was totally telling y'all to do what I wasn't doing. And I regret that, because it played into my health incident this last year too. And it's actually been part of my health recovery. So I can't emphasize this enough. Not only will you have better outcomes with dating when you're having more fun in your life and learning how to mantourage date properly, but you need to have more fun and to be healthier, to live a more fulfilling life, to take as much out of life as you possibly can. And I did do that for a very long time, and then I let it go and, again, didn't prioritize it. And it kicked me in the ass massively. Okay? So very, very important. And if you're somebody who is on a health journey right now, I'm going to let you know, I'm going to talk about this again at some other point on another episode. But one of my big pieces of recovery was having more fun, even in just the little things that I didn't realize used to light me up. Let me give you an instance. I was having really bad symptoms of what I was going through. And one of the things that would immediately knock out my symptoms, which didn't happen even with medication, was going on a moped ride. I got a moped, which is something when I lived in Mexico that I had. That was my mode of transportation when I lived in Mexico. And that would transport me to that feeling of being in Mexico and that freedom that I felt during that time. And my symptoms just were pretty wild, crazy symptoms, and they would just relax. And I want you to know, when you start to incorporate, especially if you suffer from a lot of anxiety, ladies, incorporating things that you find fun is really, really helpful. Extremely helpful. And I'm speaking from an extraordinary amount of experience over this last year. So anxiety is not something I dealt with before, but because of what I was going through, I did develop massive anxiety. And in order to combat that, I had to veer away from medication because it wasn't helping me. I'm not saying that should be the mode for everybody. You talk to your healthcare professional about that. That's between you and that person. But I will tell you 100%, incorporating more fun into your life, more of these little things too, not even just the big fun, not just the big things. Some of the big things are great too, but just the little things that lit you up maybe when you were younger, or that you're finding, exciting now, is extremely helpful in eliminating things that feel like they can't be taken away whatsoever, and to distract your mind for a little bit so that your body has a moment to keep repairing itself so you're not fixated on it. Okay? Number 6. If I were to do it all over again, what would I have done differently? I would have taken more family vacations. Yep, I would have taken more family vacations. Now, you're like, Jennifer, why didn't you take family vacations? And I'm going to be honest with you. So I didn't recognize this for years. I mean, we did do some family vacations, don't get me wrong. But I didn't recognize for years I had a trauma pattern around family vacations because they were so stressful for my parents growing up. And that ended up, coming out towards me and my sister. And so I would avoid family vacations because I didn't want to have to deal with the packing, the arranging, all those things, because it would stress me out so bad that I felt I would never enjoy the vacation. I only wanted, if I was going to do something vacation-ishy, I wanted to do it on my own because I didn't want to have to coordinate with anybody. And it was a very selfish way to approach things. And although a lot of other great things happen, I feel like I cheated my family out of that and cheated myself out of those experiences. So that's something I would have done a lot differently. So those are it. Those are the things, if I had to do it all over again, I would do again. I would, 1, Mantourage date longer. And boy, would I be really good at it now. It might take me a moment to get into it, but boy, I would be really good at it now with everything that I've learned through the ladies that I've worked with and my own experiences. Mantourage dating, still 100% the way to go. Number 2, I would have waited slightly longer to have my kiddo and focused on making more money at the time. Number 3, I would have gotten married sooner. Number 4, I would have prioritized taking better care of myself, especially health-wise. Number 5, had a lot more fun. Number 6, taken more family vacations. And to wrap this all up, really to me, what I have assessed are the most important things in life is 1, human connection. I don't care what happened during COVID. I think that COVID was a big wake-up call for us that human connection, like in-person human connection, is one of our most valuable assets. Now, you might be an introvert and don't need it all the time. That's fantastic. But I think many of us thrive on that human connection when we do it in the appropriate doses, and it has to be part of our world and not just via Zoom. Number 2, your health. You don't have to be perfect to be healthy. I've already mentioned that. In fact, I think sometimes we sabotage our health by trying to be too perfect. And we really, at least I did, my instinct is a lot of women make themselves sicker by being too rigid. So, take the noose off of your neck when it comes to trying to be perfectly healthy. Have more fun, especially with the simple pleasures, okay? And then family connection as well, and whatever that looks like for you. It may not be a biological family, but regardless, establish that kind of connection in your life.
Hey, Lover Girl. Thanks for joining me today and texting this episode to all of your single smart girlfriends. If you have a question that you'd like to submit for on-air consideration or want to learn more about working with me, then meet me over at singlesmartfemale.com. See you there.